All right, everybody, it's Rell Cummings with Dane and I, and this is episode 4 of season 2 of the Always Relevant podcast. Dane, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Football's about to start. We already got some college, and now the big boys coming on this weekend. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely excited as well. I say it was a great college football slate. It was playing, conference games against each other, big games happening all over on Saturday. I was glued to my TV all day, I had school going on. Didn't matter. I was definitely watching some football. I was definitely enjoying it. I'm glad football season's back, man. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. So let's kick off our show how we normally would. Let's go with how are you and how are you really, and I'll go ahead and kick it off. How am I? I'm good. I have no complaints. And how am I really? The same. I'm good. So I have a lot of stuff going on at school, a lot of things to finish up, but I got a few assignments out of the way, a few papers out of the way, and so you're starting to see a lot of the end of the tunnel for this term. So we have classes off. One class off this past week, one class is off this upcoming week. Then the following week, we have our last class is going to be done. So take my final exams. I'm done with that. It's just really my one final project for each class that I have to do. I have one final paper for one of them as well. So almost there. It's all right. I can almost breathe, and that's how I'm feeling. So overall, I'm not mad. I'm feeling good, man. So, well, you, man, how are you? How are you really?
Oh, man, I'm good. It was Labor Day weekend. Today's Labor Day. Just hanging out, had some cookouts going on. But the good part is, how am I really? I'm great, man. Football's back. I got something, San Gennaro Festival in New York City coming up soon. I'll be out there. Holler at your boy. I got that meatball with pasta. It's like this big. I'm going to eat 2 of them at the San Gennaro and drink me some Peronis. Man, I'll tell you what, if you get out to New York City, Little Italy, hit it up. That starts, when does that start? 16th through the 26th this month. So come on out for that. And then real quick, we're going to do the Sun Festival in Ocean City, Maryland, October 1st. Come out that weekend. Blues Travelers playing. Actually, I don't care who's playing by the time they start, but I'm going to be there. And hit us up at Coconuts. We'll be at Coconuts having a good time. So nice. I'm ready. I love September.
Nice. That's good. I've got to New York because I've never been to New York City ever. And, I've been everywhere in the country, just never there for whatever reason. So I'll have to hit you up on that. You have to take me up to Little Italy, see what it's all about, and get some festivals and see what's good. So I look forward to that sometime here in the future.
If you don't know what the San Gennaro is, watch The Godfather.
All right.
That's what's going on out there when everybody's getting whacked and stuff. So, yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay, so everybody wants to know. We talked about having goat yoga. What happened?
Rain, man. I can't go to the farm. It was canceled. So now I'm all stressed out about this game coming up, man. This is the Chiefs and Arrowhead, and I didn't get my goat yoga, and I only got 1 crab cake last time I was out to eat. So I'm a little tense right now. So maybe I have to do how are you really? How are you really? I'm a little stressed. No goat yoga, 1 crab cake for $33. It's rough out there, actually. Now I think about it.
You sound a little worried, man. Sound worried about those brownies.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to, there's too much going on now. Goat yoga is probably going to have to take a back seat, but, I'll definitely be trying it again. Definitely be hitting it up. I've already been online seeing how I can get it fit in, but we'll see what happens.
Whenever you do that, definitely let us know because we want to have the play-by-play. I want to know how that really goes down.
Yeah.
All right, so we were going to have a bonus segment for Lee's drink recipe, but unfortunately, Lee, who reached out to me today saying he's going to send me the recipe, didn't send me a recipe. So, Dane, I think we have a backup drink recipe for this week. What you got for us?
So, right before we started here, I think we're going to do a live test here for our drink of the week here. So, I got here Trick or Treat Chocolate Pumpkin Porter from the Evil Genius Brewing Company. So, 12 ounces, 7.8% by volume. It's brewed in Pittston, PA. All right, so there it is, right there.
All right.
Came in a 6-pack cans.
Dane's already thinking fall. He said, all right, summer's over. It's Labor Day. I'm already thinking football season, thinking fall with the pumpkin. The pumpkin spice drink, but close enough. Pumpkin beer. The
chocolate pumpkin
resembles it. You say what?
I'm pouring it right now. I've never thought about mixing chocolate and pumpkin together.
No, first time for everything. I'd give it a try too. Why not?
Yeah, there it is right there. Give it a shot. All right. Got it in my ice mug, getting ready for the game here.
Yeah, Dane's drinking from a Cleveland Browns ice mug right now.
That's
So
right.
he's doing a live taste test of this brew. So let's see if it's for real or not. Because Dane's not quite the beer snob that our resident mixologist Lee is, but we'll see what he says.
Wow. That is really good. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Like, that really put me in a good mood after thinking about them crab cakes and missing the goat yoga and everything for the game. Man, that's good. So right there, highly recommend by Evil Genius in Pittston, PA. Trick or Treat chocolate pumpkin porter.
Evil Treat.
Give it a try.
Chocolate pumpkin porter. Evil Genius out of Pittston, PA. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do this every week. We have some kind of drink, whether it's something from a local brewery near us or something that Lee, our resident mixologist, he didn't make it this time. He will get a few beverages for everybody. That's going to correspond with our show and with the time of year and everything. So good to know. We'll keep that moving for sure. Dane, you enjoy that during this podcast? I'm sure you will. Maybe you have a couple. And,
yeah, shockingly, it's not real heavy. It's pretty smooth for something.
Yeah.
You hear pumpkin chocolate, you're probably thinking it'll fill you up like a meal, man. That thing went down smooth.
Right.
I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to talk some football now.
Well, here we go. Hey, that's what you do because you're going to lead us off with a college football segment. Week 1, everything happened. We have a rundown of games. There's some great games that went on this weekend. What you got for us, man?
All right, so there's some great football this weekend. We're going to break it down here and keep it real with this scores. We're not going to sugarcoat nothing. If we don't like something, we're going to let you know. If we like something, we're going to let you know. And it's going to be coming straight from the heart because we don't like bad football. We like good football. So we're going to start off with the big one Thursday night, Ohio State at Minnesota. Not going to lie, I was worried early. I think it was 21-17 at halftime. They ended up winning 35-31. Stroud had 294 yards, 4 touchdowns was his final. On the Minnesota side at Abram, great running back, man. That guy's good. He's fast and he sees a hole. He had 30 carries, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he got hurt in the third. So
I think Ohio State can be a little lucky he got hurt in the third because they were definitely controlling the ball, controlling the clock. Ohio State scored some big plays in the third quarter, but they still had ball control overall. And you're right, Abram, he has good speed, good quickness, great vision, and great patience, which is hard to see and hard to have and hard to find in collegiate backs. Usually those top backs are the ones that have all those characteristics, and he had them all. And they definitely had Ohio State on the ropes for a while as far as that. But
here's my take on the game. I think Minnesota's a good football team.
Yeah.
Their tackle was 6'9", 380, right? We're talking big boys, dude. I forget his name right now, but Minnesota's got players. That transfer from Texas A&M at wide receiver that caught that first touchdown.
Yep.
Watch out for Minnesota in the West, man. I ain't lying. I thought they looked good. A lot of people are saying Ohio State looked bad. I'm kind of on the other side of it. I think Minnesota's pretty good. It was at Minnesota. That's Stroud's first game, and he looked really iffy, not good early. But you know what happened? Ohio State on offense, athletes just took over. Olave, he's going to be a great NFL player. Ohio State's athletes just take over, and that's what it is. I am still a little worried about the Buckeyes' defense. I think they're still a little sketchy.
Now, for them, I heard something that their DBs, like their normal starting DBs, they were sitting this game for whatever reason. I don't know if it was because of the COVID protocol or what. So they have some younger DBs in there than what they normally would have. So maybe that was part of it. I mean, that doesn't really help with them stopping the run because that's really where Minnesota got them. It was control the ball and keep them off the field. And then when Stroud was on the field, Minnesota was playing solid defense. Stroud, I mean, he's a freshman. He's 19 years old.
Yeah, 19.
It was a big game under the lights in Minnesota, and they had some, a little bit of weather. I mean, so those odds right there aren't really in his favor as far as that, especially Minnesota was better than probably anticipated. But like you said, athletes took over in the end, and how they did what everybody pretty much expected them to do in the second half. But Minnesota, I think you're right. I think they are better than what they were last year. They had a lot of injuries, a lot of COVID issues last year, and they have a lot of guys that have played together from the year before that are back this year. And I think that they're ready to go. I think that that coach PJ Flex got them rolling the boat out there and saying ski ma and everything else. So
real quick, I'm throwing out last year in the Big Ten. I'm going more off of how they were before COVID started. Like a lot of those Minnesota players, like the tackle I mentioned, were sat out for COVID.
Right.
Last year, I'm not even going to go there. I think we're getting the Minnesota from 2 years ago, the PJ Fleck program that he's building over there. Congrats to Minnesota, man. I mean, they played hard. I honestly, Ohio State is that talented. They're that good. So we're going to move along here. Some of the bigger games we'll talk a little more about, and then we'll blow through a couple. So the other big one was Clemson, Georgia. Boy, would Woody Hayes be happy. Boy, would Newt Rodney love this game, because nothing was happening. It was 2 inches in a cloud of dust, right?
Yeah, defensive stuff to the core. No one could do anything. The only touchdown of the game was on a pick six that DJ, I'll call him DJU, who's quarterback for Clemson, threw it to the safety from Georgia. He took about 60 or 70 yards to the house.
74 yards.
Yeah, that was the only touchdown of the game. Other than that, 100% defensive struggle. I think both teams have solid defenses. I think Clemson is lacking on offense from what it looked like. I feel like Georgia probably could have had a little more offense, and they'll probably do a little bit better, even though they're going to face the SEC schedule. That's going to be tough. But I don't know how Clemson's going to do overall. I mean, they're not going to face SEC defense the rest of the year, so they're probably going to run it up on everybody. But they're not last year's team, and I think I don't think DJU is Trevor Lawrence. I think there's definitely a difference.
Well, no one's Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's supposedly a once in a generation talent.
Right.
So the stats on this game are crazy. Like I said, this has been, oh man, Vince Lombardi would have loved this, right? Georgia, 135 passing yards, 121 rushing yards. Now, here's the kicker. Clemson, 178 passing yards, 2 rushing yards. Clemson had 2 rushing yards the entire game.
Hey, Georgia's front seven serious though, man. You see that big D tackle, number 99? That dude's in face. Hey, after the game, he didn't look winded. He was just chilling.
Both defenses, I think, are really good, but at the end of the day, I think it's both. Both offenses going to need some work. All right. All right, let's move it along here. Let's go to the game we watched last night because that was a great one. Notre Dame versus Florida State. Florida State 141-38. Big time game, big win on the road. What'd you think?
You know what? Honestly, it was a good game. I thought Notre Dame was going to end up blowing them out. But Florida State, they showed heart. Florida State, they're athletic. They didn't quit. It was good to see Mackenzie Milton, the former quarterback from UCF, had probably one of the most gruesome injuries you'll see out there.
Yeah.
Didn't think he'd even be able to walk again. He's back playing football 3 years later. He's pretty much All-American at UCF, and he came in to Florida State, and he wasn't the starter. It's kind of crazy. He's a backup. I think he accepted that role. But I think you could tell he was ready because he got in the game when the starting quarterback in the fourth quarter lost his helmet on the play, had to sit out. And after that, Mackenzie Milton went in and drove him right down the field and scored. Didn't come out the game the rest of the time. So that should tell you something. Dude maybe lost his starting spot to this guy. And
have you ever seen anybody lose their job that quick?
So quick, lost
one play
mid-drive. Yeah, one play, and the next play, Mackenzie Milton completed a 22-yard pass, and then they went down to score a touchdown.
That's why this is different, right? Because, say somebody gets hurt for the rest of the game, or gets hurt for a quarter, or hurt for a couple months, and then the guy takes over.
Right.
This dude literally just lost his helmet, right? And was ready to go next play and lost his job. So for all you young players out there,
be ready.
I'll tell you what my dad always said, don't get hurt because somebody's going to take your job.
Yep.
Ray Lewis said it best. All you have is your availability, right? And dude wasn't available for one play.
Right.
One play he wasn't available for, and he lost his job.
Hey, but during that one play, Florida State was down by 18 points in the fourth quarter.
18.
And that one play he was out. Well, Mackenzie Milton led him back and took it to overtime. They lost. Kicker ended up missing a field goal left, like a 35-yard field goal, missed it left. But still, the fact that they were even in the conversation to even take it to overtime, that was pretty impressive.
So, you know what? The kicker's getting some undue stress for this, right? All right, I'm going to call that kicker. He was the GOAT of the game. He missed the overtime field goal. That's right. I'm old enough to remember when GOAT meant you were the guy who choked and lost the game. GOAT wasn't greatest of the all-time 20 years ago. GOAT was you were the one that lost the game.
Hey,
you screwed up.
Putting them into overtime.
That kicker's the GOAT.
Hey, he kicked the 47-yard field goal to take him to overtime. He's got a little something there.
But you know what, though? Notre Dame's defense deserves a lot of credit because they were getting their butts kicked in the fourth quarter, and they made a big time stop there in overtime, making that kicker kick that long field goal. And then Florida State's defense deserves a lot of credit because they came in and shut it down, right? For their
Yeah,
chance.
they did.
Only when you're Notre Dame, you know one thing you know Notre Dame's going to have? A kicker. Notre Dame always going to have a kicker, right?
That's true.
So if your game's coming down to a field goal against Notre Dame, you're probably in trouble because Duke going to knock it through.
Yeah, true.
All right, so that was a great game. Big shout out to the Notre Dame quarterback too, Cohen, 366, 4 touchdowns. Big time performance.
Solid.
For a guy who's played for like 8 different colleges and he's probably 32 years old. But
that's true. He's actually 23. He's
yeah, that's right. So, all right, we're going on Penn State, Wisconsin, big boy football. Another one all the old school guys would love. Boy, don't you love this? Old school football's back, the boring kind that makes your girlfriend hate it and not want to watch anymore. So we got Penn State winning 16-10, right? Penn State had 50 rushing yards, which is a little better than Clemson, but nothing to talk about.
Bit.
Yeah, 247 passing yards. Wisconsin, 185. They were more balanced, 185 rush, 174. Usually a team that controls the line of scrimmage wins. Not in this case, because you know why? I'm going to tell you the same thing, and what I say right now can be played for the last 20 years of Wisconsin football and probably the next 20 years of Wisconsin football.
Yeah, let's hear it.
They don't have a quarterback. They never have a quarterback. Never going to win nothing until they get a quarterback. Mertz had 2 interceptions. Terrible.
Hey, Notre Dame's quarterback's former quarterback in Wisconsin, though, right?
It's the program. It's got to be the program. I don't know what it is. They need a quarterback. They never have a quarterback.
Wisconsin was in the red zone 4 times and turned it over 3 of those times.
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
can't do that.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to give Penn State its due. It's hard to win in Wisconsin on the road week 1.
Are both teams for real though?
Clifford was mistake, but Clifford was pretty much mistake free for Penn State. He only had 1 touchdown, less than 200 yards, but mistakes kill you. Now, do I think either of them are for real?
Yeah.
I thought they both looked pretty good. I mean, it's going to be hard to tell, but they definitely look like there's some – Penn State's always got athletes. They're always filled with NFL draft picks.
Yeah.
I think Franklin's a good coach, but, we'll see. You know what I mean?
Right,
what else?
Right.
Anything else on that game? Pretty much 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Penn State.
That's it. Old school. You can't beat that.
I'm going to bring this one up briefly. Iowa's tough to beat at home. They whooped Indiana 34-6. I know Indiana was a preseason darling.
I didn't think they were going to whoop them that bad. I thought they would win. I just didn't think it would be like that. Like they did them wrong. So I don't know if Iowa's just that much better or if IU had fallen off that much since the previous year or what.
I think IU's back to Indiana football. They're one of them teams maybe that were well coached in the COVID era and took advantage of it. I'm not going them out yet, but it is IU. So sorry, Lee, if you're listening to this one. Yeah, that's probably more what I expected. I was only home.
Lee's a Notre Dame football fan. I remember that.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. So
all right. So I'm going to talk about this one briefly. Alabama versus Miami, just because it's Alabama being Alabama. They won 44-13. Their new quarterback, Young, had 4 touchdowns. Alabama had 147 yards rushing and 354 passing to the U's 88 rushing and 178 yards passing. No love lost. I hate Miami. That's no secret, so I don't really care. Your thoughts on this game?
Alabama came out and did what Alabama does to teams. So pretty much unless they're Clemson from the ACC, Alabama rolls on them. So no surprise here. Miami, I think they probably are getting better. They're not top tier ACC yet. They're definitely not able to hang with Alabama. They might be able to do something in the ACC, but that's it. They're not with the big boys yet. They have ways to go.
We need to get like a garbage can we can flash on the screen when we talk about it. It's garbage. Miami, garbage.
Hey, Miami got that. You got to bring back the U. The college football needs the U. They need the U.
Garbage. The most irrelevant franchise since 2002. All right. University, sorry. Even though they're all paid now, I guess you could say franchise. Legally paid. I want to talk about this one because this kind of goes back to what we were talking about our last one. Tulane and Oklahoma. So Oklahoma squeaks out Tulane, Tulane. I challenge all my viewers out here, unless you're a diehard football fan probably don't even know where Tulane is. So Oklahoma, 116 yards rushing, 314 passing. Tulane, 100 yards rushing, 296 passing. That tells me it's an even game. It isn't even a fluke. That's an even game, man. So I'm sick of hearing about Oklahoma. If Oklahoma gets in the playoff this year, I'm done with college football. I don't care if they run the table in the Big 12. This game right here tells me all I need to know about Oklahoma football. I'm tired of hearing about Oklahoma football. Paul Feinbaum, you put Oklahoma over Ohio State in your poll? You have no credibility. Who even lets you on TV? Stay down and talk SEC football. Actually, SEC sucks. We're going to get into more of that here in a minute. It's all Alabama, but you go ahead, Terrell. What you got?
No, I'm with you. Tulane came out. They represented well. And the game was supposed to be in Tulane. For anybody that doesn't know, Tulane is in New Orleans. So the game was supposed to be in New Orleans. Got moved to Oklahoma. Oklahoma said, hey, you come in, we'll open up the lower bowl. Any ticket sales go to Tulane. So that was a good gesture by Oklahoma. Alabama let Tulane practice in their indoor practice facilities. They could prepare for the game. That was nice of Coach Saban and Alabama and everything. Tulane came out, smacked them in the mouth, showed them they were for real. And Spencer Rattler even said, like, that it is the hardest hitting team that he's ever played against, ever, as far as that. So Spencer Rattler being Oklahoma's quarterback, that should say something. Maybe he's not used to getting hit, but I don't know. Either way, Oklahoma, their defense was supposed to be the star. Their defense was supposed to be what took them to the national championship. It was supposed to take them to the playoff. I don't know how you can say that now if Tulane did that to them. I don't know how you
There's
can
no
say
D
that.
in Big 12. It sucks.
Hey, Oklahoma's with the SEC though, not for the SEC. Just saying.
Yeah. Then you know what? I'll be glad when they go in the SEC because then we won't have to talk about them anymore. They'll be like Indiana. All right, what we got here? All right, I'm done with Oklahoma. I don't even know why I'm talking about them.
You can't bring up LSU and UCLA.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk LSU and UCLA. How about Chip Kelly, 38-27? I love it. The SEC, come on, man. It's all Alabama, right? Georgia and Alabama, probably. Georgia, but I don't think Clemson's as good, but whatever. They won the game, right? It was in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. So good for them. But I'm giving Chip Kelly his due. They blew out Hawaii, who was not a great football team or anything, but they still took care of business. And then they whooped Ed Oregon, who before he won the national title, that same idiot, Paul Feinbaum, called him the worst coach in the history of SEC. Well, I think he's trying to get his title back. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like it. Hey, one thing, I don't know if Coach O can coach. I know he couldn't use a recruit. And he got Joe Burrow to go there. Joe Burrow got him a national championship. Might have got him a statue up there and everything. Can't hate on that. Did what he did. What's it going to be going forward? I don't know. LSU, like we've talked about before, LSU, they're kind of able to recruit themselves. They have athletes. They have plenty of NFL players. You just need to get that quarterbacks and take them over top. I don't know if they have that or not.
Yeah. Did you see UCLA trolling them on Twitter?
No.
What Ed Oregon said about their pansy blue sweaters or something like that?
No, I didn't see what they said.
So after they show Ed Oregon walking in, UCLA football posts on Twitter, and then after that, all of them are celebrating. Rolling. Hey, LSU, you're getting trolled by UCLA. Trolled by UCLA. Boy, what is that? What were them commercials used to be? Life comes at you fast.
That's true. That's true. They have nothing to say about either. Nothing.
LSU had 49 rushing yards, I might add. LSU, 49 rushing yards.
That's very uncharacteristic of LSU. Let's just say that. Usually that's what their game is built on, running the ball and defense. And in this game, they had neither.
Yeah, you're not going to win many games in the SEC rushing for 49 yards against UCLA. All right, we got to talk about your one more before we talk about your boys. Michigan State looked impressive. I doubted the new coach, and maybe Northwestern's terrible. You never know. Every other year they're terrible, and then the following they're pretty good. But Michigan State took care of business. I was kind of shocked how bad they beat them up early in that game.
I do think that coach is going to come in. Was it Mel Tucker come in, give them a little bit of attitude, give them some structure. Usually Michigan they have athletes, but usually they might have a few penalties that hurt them down the line, whatever else. But they've been in Big Ten title games before. It's possible to recruit there. It's possible to win championships there. I think he's got the right attitude. I think they follow his lead, and I think they're going to be a tough out for any team that plays against them. To be honest with you,
yeah.
So it won't surprise me. It won't surprise me if they get some wins this year.
Yeah, I'll do another quick one. Go ahead. I was
I'll
just
say
gonna
I
do another
definitely
quick
think
one.
that they're built into his image. I think they play how he coaches for sure. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, real quick, another team that playing in the coach's image, Mr. Fickle getting it done. The Nasty took care of business 49-14 against Miami. They were up 21-0 the first quarter, looking pretty solid to start. We'll know more when they play a better opponent, but still, that's how you want to start your season. And
Yep,
we're
for
going to
sure.
finish. Let's see. Did I catch all the ones we wanted to talk about?
I think so.
Let's talk about your boys, Michigan. They look like they could win the MAC. Pretty impressed with Harbaugh. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, hey, you know what? They did what they were supposed to against directional school. I felt Western Michigan was able to kind of move the ball a little bit. So I think there's still some vulnerabilities on defense. One thing I was impressed with is they were running the ball pretty decent. The offensive line was actually pushing the pile, so that's good. I don't know if that's going to work against like Big Ten defenses or not, but initially I thought they're all right. One thing I was happy with was the quarterback play. He's not going to lose them the game. As far as that, I think Harbaugh is trying to go back, have them run the ball, run play action, have the tight end sets in there, which probably they need to try to do. They're not going to try to air it out all the time, but if they do, I think that they have the quarterback to do so. Now, unfortunately, their best receiver on that punt return ended up tearing his ACL. He's out for the year. Ronnie Bell.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's a huge loss for them because he was their main guy, the main receiving threat and everything. They do have some other guys. They're just younger. They just have to step up as far as.
I believe he was their leading receiver last year.
Yeah, last year, and yeah, he was last 2 years actually. So that's a big loss. Yeah, he had already had a 78-yard touchdown pass that game, and then he had a ridiculous one-handed catch on the sideline that was pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, I looked that up. Ronnie Bell sideline catch against Western Michigan, it's pretty solid. He had a good return, and on the punt return, it was probably like 30 yards. Just got rolled up, and he tried to walk off the field, couldn't do it, couldn't put any pressure on it, and they got the MRI, definitely have tore ACL. So
yeah, I feel terrible for the kid.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I never want to see anybody get hurt. I don't care who they play for.
Right.
It's early enough in the year. He probably could redshirt this year because now, if you play a little bit, it doesn't count till after how many games now? 4 or something?
I think it's 4 games. Yeah, so he can come back. I know he was looking to go to the NFL after this season. He probably would have been drafted for sure. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but he's out there. He's fast. He's quick. He makes plays. He has good hands. So.
Yep. All right, man. That's pretty much a college rundown. It's a pretty exciting weekend, man. I'm looking forward to someone beating Oklahoma. Hopefully it's Kansas, and then we can quit talking about them. So it's about all I got.
That'd be funny if they do.
Yeah, I would love it. So what do you got?
What I got next? All right. So there's a video went up, and I wish I could post it right here right now, of Trent Dilfer, who's a former NFL player. He's a high school football coach now. He won the Super Bowl with the Ravens back in the day. And it's a video of him yelling at a kid on his football team. The kid disrespected him, was talking back to him. So it shows him grab the kid by the shoulder pads, yelling at him, and telling the kid to sit down or whatever and stay on the bench. And it's one of those things where is that too over the top? Is that too old school for nowadays, or not? So I know I kind of put the poll out there on Facebook a little bit, had a couple different reactions. Overwhelmingly, everybody most people had said that they were fine with what the coach had said, with what the coach had done, how he was treating the situation. Now, if there was something where he was just yelling at the kids to yell at them, there's no message behind it, might be a different story, I feel like. But overall, the way he handled the situation, if the kid was disrespecting the coach and the kid was talking back to the coach, then he was setting them straight as far as the situation. And I think I go ahead and would agree with that. In general, though, would I suggest coaches putting their hands on their players or like guiding on that? Probably not. I think it just depends on the coach's relationship with the players, the coach's relationship with probably the families of those players. So I feel like if they have a better relationship with them, then something like that is more acceptable, and the parents be more on board with them disciplining their children, their kids in that way. But I don't know. That's kind of my initial thought on it.
It's a bad look by today's standards, right? There's no getting around it. I mean, I remember, you remember when we used to play youth band, they used to get mad at us, make us play bull in the ring, like when we're 8 years old and stuff. You know what I mean? Oklahoma drill, running, push-ups, leg lifts. I hate leg lifts, man. Those were the worst. Coaches would grab kids by the face mask, by the shoulder pads. I didn't think nothing of it at the time, right? And I never felt like even as a kid, it's hard to remember how you feel as a kid, but like, I don't remember it ever bothering me really. You know what I mean? Like I got the message, like I screwed up. And I was that
Right.
player that did dumb stuff all through my senior year of college. So,
Yeah,
even a veteran senior can forget to go out on punt team once in a while. I mean, it happens. You know what I mean?
right. I know with me, like
yeah.
I never really was worried about anything or whatever. I didn't really care about anything. I wouldn't like if a coach grabbed my face mask. I never actually had it happen, but that would probably, if there was everything, me being a player, the anything that would bother me, it would be that. Because like I had anything to do, like why you grab my face mask. But I was also one of those players where odds are I wasn't gonna have my shoulder pads grabbed or my face mask grabbed anyway. You could yell at me and I would hear what you were trying to tell me and I could apply it on the field and it wasn't a big deal. And I wasn't really someone who's gonna be like, you know, doing boneheaded stuff all the time that's gonna get me yelled at. So that was just never really my thing. I was usually pretty good about understanding what the coach was trying to say and executing that. But yeah, overall, probably not the best look, especially nowadays. Everything, social media, everything's like it happens as instant on social media. So then everybody can be judge and jury and executioner and all that at that point in time. But I don't know. Overall, like I said, I think it's really just the relationship the coach has with the players and the families of those players. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't do it nowadays. That's why I'm going to leave it. Like, you just can't do it. I mean, it's a bad look. Do I personally have a problem with it? Like, if it was my kid, I mean, you never know. I mean, heck, I'm afraid to even say something because someone might say, "Can you believe it? That person said that it was okay that he could do that to your kid, whatever." But you know what I mean? Like,
and I'm not saying necessarily
around.
grab a kid by the shoulder pads or whatever. That's probably a little far. But if you're having someone that's like, yelling at a kid or whatever, and there's a message in what's being yelled at the kid, then I think it's more understandable versus someone that's just yelling to yell. There are coaches out there that is yell to hear their own voice yell and want to intimidate the players, and they want to gain the respect of the players by yelling at the players, make the players feel like inferior to them, and that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, we're older too, though. Also on the flip side of it, like I don't remember players really acting up like you see some of this stuff now too. You know what I mean? Because you knew, like, do stuff like that, dude. You're not playing. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and the kids were fine. It's fine. I'll just leave and go do whatever I want. It's like, okay, whatever.
I'll tell you a quick story real quick how my coach was. Like my high school coach is when he was coaching high school football, and some guys were acting up on the team. I forget exactly what they did, but it was bad. And he made them run around the stadium during the game, the track. During the game, the whole game, they ran the track the whole game. This is our starting middle linebacker and starting defensive tackle running around. He didn't touch them, but we got our point across, right? So,
right.
That's the type of stuff that happens, a great coach, you knew how to do it right, like you just don't touch the kids, right? Just don't do it.
Right. I know we had one where there's a guy, he had drank the night before on 2 days, and you could smell it on the next morning, and the coach just said, just run. He said, just run around the complex.
Yeah.
The whole time, all morning practice. So, that's the first practice in the morning is usually the longer practice, right? So that was a full 2.5, 3 hours.
Miserable. Pushing the sled.
Yeah, kids just running around the whole time. Like, he should have known when he did. Coach punished him for it. I mean, it was. And I don't want that to happen to me. So I'm never doing something stupid like that. I'm good. You know? So it was a senior. So he was setting an example, and it was one of the best players on the team. And you just can't do that. But
so we'll see what happens. We'll have to follow up on this one.
All right. Up next, Cincinnati Reds. I want to bring this up real quick because the Reds.
Yeah, you tell me what's going on with the Cincinnati Reds. I want to know.
Dude. I don't know what's going on because when we left last week, the Reds were like a game and a half ahead in the wild card. They were doing well. They were sitting pretty well. Since then, the Reds have lost the last 7 of 9 games. They're at least a half game back. I don't know what San Diego's done today in their game. They might be a full game back in the wild card. The Phillies are catching up in the wild card. Right now they're not going to catch the Brewers in the Central, so they need to hold on to that wild card spot. And they're behind on it. And people going in slumps, people getting hurt. Bullpen's doing what they do by giving up runs. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're going to do. They need to get it together. I'm a little worried. It's going to be down. This can be down to down to the last game of the season. I feel like it's not going to be where they can lock it up early and get that. The magic number is this. They're not going to have that at all. That's not happening. They're going to fight till the end of the season. I can tell. Hopefully they can make it. But I don't know. I'm a little worried because this part of the schedule is supposed to be the easiest part of the schedule out of any of the teams that were left. And they're losing games to like the Cubs and the Marlins. I think that the Pirates coming up soon. Though they should beat the Pirates, but I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah, I thought Reds might make a push, but it's starting to look like there's going to be no playoff baseball in Ohio this year unless the Reds get turned around.
They have time to get it turned around. They have time to get it turned around. It's not like it's all like hope is lost by any means. They just need to play better, and their bullpen needs to figure it out. Their bullpen hasn't figured it out all year, and that's been the one Achilles heel. Like Reds are top 5 in baseball in scoring runs. They score runs, and their starting pitching is not horrible. You know, it's the bullpen.
Good bullpens cost money unless you can scout like the Tampa Bay Rays. So
that's true. That's true. So the Reds need to figure it out. I don't know what they're going to do. I look forward to see what happens in the next few weeks. But that's what I worry about. I worry about their bullpen late innings of games. So
yeah. Really not much of an update on the Indians other than I don't know if you've seen Franmil Reyes hit that ball over the green monster this weekend. Gone. And he attributed it to the good vanilla ice cream up there. So that's all right. That's your tribe news for the weekend.
Oh, good enough. Good to know. All right. We're going to do a quick rundown of NFL games week 1. What do you got for us, Dave?
All right. We got a bunch of games this weekend. Some of the ones we are interested in watching. We'll go first. We'll talk about Thursday night. I really love it when Dallas gets slaughtered on Thursday night on national primetime TV. They're in Tampa Bay getting their rings probably. Tampa Bay is expected to be better than they were. It's almost the same team. Dak Prescott says he's playing, says he's healthy. I don't buy it.
You don't think wait. You don't think Dak's healthy?
He's saying he's ready to go, but the guy's had 3 different issues here and hasn't played much preseason, didn't play at all. Well, didn't play any preseason, right? Didn't play at all since week last year? I forget when he went out. It was pretty early.
Yeah.
Still, as good as I thought Ezekiel Elliott is, I don't know. We'll see if he has enough pride to come back and play how I think he can play. I still, even with Nolan as their defensive coordinator, I still think their defense will be terrible. And I really enjoy that very much. So
has Zeke fallen off the running back cliff?
Yes, he's done.
You think it's hit him? Think he's done?
This year, I think it's prove it year. Unfortunately for Barkley, he hasn't got paid yet, but Barkley's the other prove it guy here. Elliott already got paid. He got his $90 million.
Right.
So see what happens. Any thoughts on that game? Giving Dallas any chance, I'll say.
Who's it against again?
Tampa.
Oh.
That's what I said. In Tampa. Tampa's getting their rings.
Tampa's getting the rings. Tampa's defense is solid. Tampa has Tom Brady. They have the 2-headed running back monster. Plus, they have all the receivers out of there. Tampa's going to be tough to stop. And Tampa's defense more than anything. But, I'll say more Dallas not having defense more than anything. I think Dallas will score. I think Tampa will take advantage of that defense. And I don't think it's gonna work out for Dallas at all.
All right. So the other game, let's talk about Steelers-Bills. I think we're going to find out a lot about the Steelers first week because I don't think we all really know what to expect from them. Everybody's expecting Buffalo to be very good. What do you think?
Yep. Same. Buffalo's got a solid offense. They have Josh Allen coming back. They have Stephon Diggs there. They're going to be good. They're going to put up points. Josh Allen's going to give us rushing yards. He's going to give us passing yards. Buffalo's defense is solid. Pittsburgh, don't really know what's going to happen with them. And Big Ben's at quarterback. He's old school. They have Najee Harris, and I think they're going to try to use him as a bell cow. Give him the ball a lot, get him by the backfield. They have a lot of talented receivers. I don't know how the Steelers defense is going to be. They have TJ Watt, who is definitely quality, but they had a lot of other holes in their defense from last season.
Their defense is pretty good. Still got the safety and stuff like that. TJ Watt's got contract problems.
Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick, he is back. But I know they had lost some other players previously last year where it's there's a few more holes in defense than what they normally would have. So if they fill those up, it's possible that they could hold it down against the Bills. But I don't know if they're going to have enough offense, really. And I don't know.
I think it's going to come down to the offensive line. There's a lot of question marks on Pittsburgh's offensive line. I think we're going to find out real quick against Buffalo.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree there. And I don't mean to try to get into a shootout. I think they're going to try to control the ball, let Najee Harris be the bell cow, and utilize Ben sparingly as far as doing that. So I still think it's going to be Buffalo though. But that's what I'm going with.
All right. I think Buffalo too, but I think it's going to be a good game. Another one I'm real interested in watching. We talked about Packers versus the Saints. We got Jameis Winston trying to revive his career against Aaron Rodgers. Big time game. What do you think?
I think the Packers are going to take it to New Orleans.
Wow.
I do. I think I don't. Well, I just don't know if I can trust Jameis Winston. He sat behind Drew Brees. He learned a lot or whatever. But is he still the same Jameis Winston who can throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he'll also have 3 or 4 picks? Or he'll have a boneheaded play where he fumbles the ball. He's always been a turnover machine. He's been a turnover machine his whole career. It's nothing new for him to fumble the ball or throw interceptions. So as good as he is, he's always going to, 2 steps forward, at least 1 step back, probably 2 steps back. So I don't know if you can put all of your trust in the Jameis Winston right now.
If Winston does turn it around this year, then coach of the Saints, man, that dude,
Guru, QB
Guru. I got his legacy's riding on that, man. If he turns Winston around, the Saints are big time players this year.
Yeah.
Huge legacy thing. All right. I'm with you. I got Packers. Even though Rodgers didn't play, there's some issues with the Packers. It'll be interesting to see, but I still got Packers.
Doesn't matter. He's better in preseason. He's good to go.
All right, let's talk about your game first, since there isn't quite as much hype around Bengals Vikings. What do you think? Bengals Vikings in Minnesota. It's in Minnesota, right? Yep.
Yeah, it's in Minnesota. The Bengals, we'll have to see. First of all, you got to see how their offensive line is. That's key as far as that. Joe Burrow, because he didn't really play preseason, so I don't know how much he's really trusting his knee yet. Physically it's fine, but I think it's just a mental thing. I think he needs to get hit. He needs to just kind of get that out of his way so he can think about his knee less when there's bodies falling around him in the pocket. But ultimately, I think it's the offensive line. They got to protect Burrow. I think the Bengals need to run the ball. I think they need to utilize Joe Mixon, that's a bell cow, and then run their offense through Mixon and run play action passes and everything from there. And then from there, I do think the defense is better. I don't mind their DBs. I don't mind their D-line. I worry about the linebackers. I think the linebackers have issues covering backs of the backfield and receivers in the slot and coverage. I think that's where the weakness is on defense. I think that's where the problem is. But overall, can they beat the Vikings? Yeah, because the Vikings, their defense is going on decline. If the Bengals offensive line can figure it out, I think the Bengals can score them. But
you have to stop Cook.
Got to stop Cook. And that's going to be tough. Because he's consistent.
So I'm going to do this to you because I want to.
No,
putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor, make or break year. Is he the coach of the Bengals at the end of the year? Go.
Yes.
All right. Second question and final question. Joe Burrows, is he comeback player of the year in the NFL this year?
I'm trying to think who else would he be. There's a few other players like either him or Saquon. I think he'll have a better year than Saquon Barkley. Yeah.
Burrow. Okay, you heard it there first. Terrell is calling it. Is that going to be the coach of the Bengals next year? Burrow's going to be comeback NFL player of the year, and the Bengals record will be go.
17 games? There will be, they'll be around 500, like 8 and 9.
Okay, that'd be pretty good in that division. All right.
I agree.
Let's go to the big one here. Sunday afternoon, 4:25 national television. The Cleveland Browns are visiting the defending AFC champs, Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium. What do you think? It's going to be hype. It's going to be hype.
It's the first full capacity game in Kansas City for a while in Arrowhead. That's tough. And the Browns pretty much need to come out and try to slow down the Chiefs offense. They're not going to stop them. They got to slow them down. Now, luckily for them, Kansas City doesn't have much of a defense themselves, so they'll probably score a lot of points too. They'll probably go ahead and try to control the ball with Nick Chubb, which I think would be a very smart thing to keep Patrick Mahomes and the offense off the field. So it is possible for the Browns to win, but I don't know if I have enough faith in their defense. One thing I will say is Kansas City, they're trying to upgrade their offensive line to protect Mahomes a little bit better because their offensive line was hurt and they were struggling last year.
I think they've done that.
I think they have too. But I mean, the Browns strengthened their defensive line as well with Clowney, the rush alongside of Myles Garrett. So I mean, those are two
That's
athletic
scary,
dudes
dude.
that's tough as far as that. But man, it's a hard game to pick, man. I'm gonna stick with Kansas City, home field advantage, Arrowhead, and their offensive firepower.
All right. You know what? You know who I got? I got the Browns because that weak stuff don't live here no more, like Landry said on Hard Knocks, right?
Anybody
It's happening.
that's gonna watch this podcast on YouTube, you're gonna see Dane's shirt. Dane's rocking his Brownies hat. He's got a GVR Brown shirt on. He's repping to the core to the fullest. And
I got my Browns mug. I'm even drinking an orange beer. So
he's all in. He's all. I got
in.
I got a Bengals hat on, so I'm good. Bengals hat, orange shirt. We're good to go.
I'll tell you what, if Clowney and Garrett stay healthy, and I'm a quarterback in the National Football League, I can't think of a defensive line I'd rather see than not see than them two coming at you.
Yeah,
they got all them defensive backs and stuff like that from the Rams, who had a stud defense. It's now the Browns. The Browns defense is totally revamped. I'm still have massive concerns at linebacker, especially when Phillips tore his bicep, going to be out for the year. I thought he was our best young player. Still major concerns at linebacker, but I think they're banking on. Oh, and you got to remember Tech McKinley. He's on the roster after some issues. We still don't know why he wasn't at camp or anything, but that's your third defensive end, and they're going to bring him in on packages where he plays the end. Clowney's going to move inside and put him against guards. Clowney against guards. Myles Garrett, move them guys around. Man, it's going to be scary because I don't think the linebackers, they're banking we're going to need that much linebacker support. So
right.
Yeah, but they're getting speed. It's all about speed because obviously everybody in the AFC North's getting speed at linebacker because you have to stop Lamar Jackson, because if you don't stop him, you're not beating the Ravens. So everybody's going with speed. Your linebackers like that OKJ or whatever from Notre Dame. I'm going to try to pronounce his name still.
Yeah,
he's undersized, but he's fast, and that's what you need when you're playing them teams. So I got Browns, big upset. I'm calling. I don't think it's going to be as many points as people think first game of the year. I'm going to go 27-24 Browns in a thriller. All right. That's what we got. And I want to throw out one thing.
Yeah.
The game I don't care about is the Jags and Texans. Can you think of a worse way to spend your Sunday than watching the Jags play the Texans? It used to be like watching the Browns play the Chargers at the end of the year in December. You know what I mean? Like just bad.
All those Ohio State fans, when we watching Urban Meyer, his NFL coaching debut, he has everybody all upset with all the comments he's made so far this offseason. We'll see what happens. Hey, I hope Trevor Lawrence does well. I do want him to. I like him as a player. I think he's a great NFL player. He's making rough.
I guess you could probably say this about every game involving the Texans this year, but with the Jags playing them, you're right. It's Urban's first game, so there might be some interest, but no one's going to care. This game is meaningless. Neither of these teams are doing anything. If Urban Meyer does anything this year, I will be shocked. So
yeah, I agree. Will Urban Meyer make it to will he make it to a third season in the NFL?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying yes. I think he knows. He's, as great a coach as he is, and say he's an arrogant guy. His coaches have egos, and he knows what everybody's saying. He hears all these people on all these talk shows saying he probably ain't gonna last a year. He knows that. I think he just can't. He can't even take bad plays well, right? When he was at Ohio State, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But because this is a game we don't care about, nobody gives a damn about, we're gonna move on. So what do you got?
Nope, that works. So up next, it's going to be you, rapid fire.
Yeah. All right, man, I'm putting you on the spot a lot today. So here we go.
I know. That's messed up.
I'll answer the questions too, but the only bad part is I already know the questions. So, all right, we're starting off with this one. What is your favorite pop song?
Pop song. Pop song.
Not R&B, not rap, not rock. Pop.
Because I would say, like, I'm thinking back, when I was younger, I think like something like 112, like, Peaches and Cream or Red Party and like Jagged Edge. But I know that's too R&B or whatever. So, I mean, I could say something Britney Spears. I don't think so.
I got a small spot for Britney.
You say what?
I love Britney.
Not the music. Britney. I feel like I grew up. I feel like I grew up with Britney. I'm gonna say the Timberlake, Justin Timberlake, and Timberland, "Sexy Back."
All right, there we go. I'm gonna go old school on you. I'm gonna go. It's a tough call for me. I'm gonna go "When Doves Cry" by Prince, and I'm also partial to "A View to a Kill" by Duran Duran. It's old school for you. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Good songs. All right, number 2, favorite shoe. Your all-time favorite shoe.
I either say the Jordan threes, or it's Jordan threes, King Griffey Jr. from back in the day, or the Deion Sanders primetime shoes. Had those back in the day. Nasty.
There you go. All right, I brought mine real quick. These are authentic 1985 Air Jordan 1s right there, about mint condition. These are my favorite. You won't see
anybody wants to see these
very
shoes.
often.
Anybody else see these shoes? Our podcast will be on the YouTube channel. Episode 4, Dane showing off the vintage Air Jordan 1s. So those are pretty sick though. Those have to be for show. You can't wear those.
No, I can't wear those. Got the leather authenticity and everything, man. Those are still my favorites. All right. Let's go to the next one. Favorite candy.
Gummy bears, hands down. If I had never ate any other candy ever in my life, anybody that knows me, gummy bears. That's it. If I get a large bag of gummy bears, it'll be gone in a day and a half, guaranteed. I get it for birthdays, I get it for Christmas, holidays, whatever. Gummy bears. That's all I got.
Okay. Remember when you're younger and you used to have to sell candy to make money for like the youth programs and stuff like that?
Yep.
I was obsessed with the Carmelo bars. Carmelos, man. Things were good. I loved that when I was younger. All right. What are you watching right now other than sports?
Other than sports, not much. I am watching on HBO Max. I'm watching a show called Titans, and it's based on the Teen Titans. So that was a group of superheroes, vigilantes, like based on Batman, not Batman, but Robin, and like a lot of the superheroes that were his age. As far as doing that, kind of like a grimier, darker feel to it as far as that. So I recommend that for HBO Max. Trying to think what else. Most things I've watched lately has been sports wise. So I watched a show called Manifest on Netflix, and then the new season of All American. I know that's kind of a sports show, but it's on the CW. I recommend that to anybody that wants to that's talk about high school drama kind of, but based around football.
All right. I'm gonna go. I've been watching it forever now. Walking Dead season 11, final season. Thank God it's almost over. I'm done with it, but I have to watch it. I was talking to my brother and I even texted him. I go, man, we're gonna watch this. He goes, yeah, we have to. We've been with it this long. It's 3 episodes in, but it's been very good. So I'm looking forward to what happens.
I have never watched The Walking Dead in my life.
Oh,
I've never seen one episode.
And then I tried, because I like the zombie stuff, I tried Black Sunday on Netflix. I watched the first season. It was pretty good. Another zombie thing, almost the exact same thing, only like super zombies are fast, run around, tackle you and shit. Right. So
what's the zombie movie
quit watching in the second season. I was over it. Huh?
What's the zombie movie with Dave Bautista in it? I heard
that's good. That's on Netflix. That's just one movie. I highly recommend watching that. I can't think of what it is right now.
Right.
I did watch that.
I thought about watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas is quarantined, and he's got to go in with an elite force to fight some super zombies. Yeah, I mean, if you got some brain cells to fry, there you go.
Okay, good to know.
Batista's becoming quite the star.
He is. Give him props.
Yeah, and then I got everybody wants to know, what do you order at Waffle House?
Okay, so that depends. All right, so if I'm going to like stop by Waffle House before I go to work or something like that, I will get 3 eggs scrambled, side of bacon, the bull grits, and wheat toast with strawberry jelly, and a water or an iced tea. If I'm there like late night, like somewhere between like 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., I'll get either the All-Star Special with the hash brown smothered covered, side of bacon, and I'm trying to think if I get anything else. Or I'll get the ham and cheese omelet.
Okay.
With grits. I do like Waffle House grits are solid. Not
They are. First off, I would never go to Waffle House unless I was out after a long night. That's the starter for me.
You got to respect it a little bit. You got to respect it a little bit.
And I don't think I've been there since I've been with you to a Waffle House. I think that's the last time I've been there was with you. So you know how long it's been. And you know what I get? I get the scattered all the way. I'm not really sure what it is, but there's chili sauce all over or something with jalapenos.
It's cheese, ham, onions, jalapeno, chili, and tomatoes diced.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I'm good on that. That'll leave you hurting for a few days.
No matter how hard you partying, man, you're gonna feel all right the next morning on that one. Really, yeah, makes you feel good inside. Yeah, we'll go with that. Final question. It's starting right now. It's 0-0 in the first quarter. Who you got, the Ville or Ole Miss? Me and you've been to Papa John's Stadium for some games.
We definitely have. I'm going Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin's out. He won't be coaching the team because he has COVID. But I'm still going Ole Miss. I think they're on the come up. I think if he was in the game, if he was there, I think it'd be a blowout. It still might be a blowout, but I think Lane Kiffin, he has to go in the right direction, and it's not gonna take them long to be good. And I don't think it's gonna take him long to get another job as long as he keeps his mouth shut.
I'm going to say Ole Miss because if he loses this game, he'll already be done at Ole Miss. They'll throw him out, and I need you to come to the Akron Zips, baby. When you take that step back, I need you to come coach the Akron Zips.
Fear the Roo. Fear
the Roo. If you can turn around the Akron Zips, you'll go down as the best mid-major coach of all time. So, all right. What do we got?
All right, is that all we have for rapid fire? That might be it.
That's what I got for you.
All right, so Ed, that means what we have next. Get real with Dane. Dane, what do you got, man?
Oh man, hey, let me take a drink before I start on this one. Ben Simmons. So I'm going to take a break from bashing on the Cavs because I'm the NBA guy on our thing here. I love the NBA, but some stuff makes me extremely angry. So I'm telling Ben Simmons to get real. Get real. You're telling the Sixers you're not going to show up because someone hurt your feelings and told you don't work hard and put in no effort in the offseason or do nothing. Look at the God-given talent. You're 6'10" with all that athleticism, and you still can't shoot. What year is this in your career? Right? This dude's gonna have a short career because what's the first thing that goes when you're an athlete? Your athleticism, right?
Right.
And he's never going. And then, what good are you in the NBA if you can't shoot? You ain't no good. That's why people who can't even shoot, but they think you could shoot, like Kyle Korver missing every shot for the Cavaliers when they were in the playoffs, still has a job when they're 39 years old. Don't even get me started on that dude. But back to Ben Simmons, right? Let me look at these stats real quick, right? 12 games, you average 33.5 minutes per game, 11.9 points per game, 7.9 rebounds, 8.8 assists. Looks pretty decent on paper, right? Field goal percentage, 62.1%. You don't do anything but a dunk, but it looks all right, right? Looks all right. Right. Free throw percentage, 34.2. As a point guard, this isn't Shaq. We're not talking Shaq. Shaq shot better than this. 34.2%.
That's tough.
Dude missed 45 free throws in the playoffs. 45.
That's mental.
What is a free throw but anything but practice and commitment to your craft, right? If you put any work in at all, you would never shoot 34.2% from the free throw.
Why doesn't he go Rick Barry style, start shooting them underhanded?
And the elimination game, right? He doesn't score in the fourth quarter, then passes up a dunk and tries to pass the ball and it gets swatted away because you're afraid to shoot. Because you're afraid you got to go to the free throw line. At what point does an athlete have this much pride in himself to make himself a little better so he doesn't have to go through that kind of embarrassment, right? So now you're telling the Sixers, because I live in Philly territory, you're not showing up because your feelings are hurt. And you know what the worst part about the NBA is? What do you hear all these people talk? Oh, well, I want to Ben Simmons right now. Golden State, so we can have that would extend our run 5, 6, 7 years. We get Ben Simmons. Let's just feed the ego. Just cool. Let him go in there. Let him go in because he's a. You read all this stuff. So because we're in the Philly area, you hear all this stuff, bad team and everything. Doesn't work. Doesn't want to play with Embiid, even though Embiid says the right stuff. Right, publicly said he wants Ben Simmons back.
Right.
And then just to get real quick on the tanking don't work because Sixers tanked forever. And who do they have? They have a guy who ain't going to show up to camp, a bunch of guys there on the team no more, and a 7-footer who's going to play 50 games a year and no titles. So I'll get real on the tanking too. Stop that. Stop tanking. Kobe Altman of the Cavs. Stop tanking. Try to win some games. Tanking don't work. It don't work. And get real Ben Simmons thinking you're going to go tell the Sixers you're not going to go to practice when you shot 34.2% and missed 45 free throws. Get out of here. Get real. I'm done.
Ben Simmons, yeah, his shooting is tough. I don't even know what to say about that. So good luck. Like Philly's got him though. They're stuck with him. I thought they would try to trade him by now. I thought they would try to get some pieces back for him, right? I guess they have to wait a little bit for.
Well, now he screwed the Sixers. Yeah, it's another reason. Get real, right? Now you screwed the Sixers because now everybody knows you're not reporting, and the Sixers can't get the return they want for you. So you screwed yourself. And his agent's Rich Paul, who does this stuff, probably trying to get Ben Simmons back out to LA where he stays all summer and doesn't do anything anyway, which would be perfect for him. Then he didn't want to do nothing all year if he goes out to California, right? So, and real quick, this is why another reason I'm upset. Dude signed 5-year, $177.2 million.
Yeah.
Right? He's just now starting that contract. So if you trade for Ben Simmons, you get him for the next 5 years. And God, you better hope he doesn't get hurt because if he loses a step, he's useless. He's going to make $33 million this year. He's going to go $33 million against your cap this year, right? For a guy who puts in no work, doesn't do anything to make his team better off the field, right, off the court, right? You can look at the assists and stuff, and who's afraid to take a shot in the fourth quarter because he's afraid someone's going to put him on the free throw line because he's afraid to shoot free throws, and there's a lot of evidence why he should be afraid. And how embarrassed would you be if you're at this point in your career and you're a point guard and you can't shoot a free throw? I know I said I was done. I lied, and I know I said I wasn't going to take a shot at the Cavs tonight. I lied, but I'm sorry.
You definitely came back through on it.
Yeah, I can't. Don't even get me started on the Cavs. Let's get on to the messing with your money. That's my get real segment. Ben Simmons, get real.
All right, mess with the money. I mean, normally I'm talking about how athletes are doing something stupid or people doing something stupid, then mess with their money and lose a bunch of money or whatever. But today we're gonna give it up for a PGA golfer named Patrick Cantlay. He won the FedEx Cup today, or was it no? This past weekend won the FedEx Cup. That's a 7th season. Led everybody on the tour. He's a quiet guy. Don't really hear much about him as far as that, but dude gets dubs. And just by winning the FedEx Cup, he won $15 million for winning the FedEx Cup. Leading up to the FedEx Cup, his career earnings was $14.6 million. So he got the double up. And after one turn, I guess after winning the FedEx Cup, basically winning the equivalent of the golf championship. So big ups to him, big props to him. He just moved up to another tax bracket. Congrats to him and good work. Hey, kids, you want to make a lot of good money? Practice golf. Practice a lot. You can make bank. So
me and him always say we wish we'd have played at a young age.
That's right. That's right.
You ended this thing like the 6 o'clock news does. After I doom and gloom on the world.
That's right.
A nice
I gotta bring the sunshine. Gotta bring the sunshine. Get right back. We're not always gonna be yelling and be mad at people. Hey, we gotta make it, make it a little bit happy, a little bit sunny for people. Plus, it's football season. We're all happy. You know that.
Yeah. Just so you know, my get real segment though, I'm always gonna be angry because somebody's gonna do something make me mad.
That's probably
bring it to everybody's attention. So,
and I'm just not as emotional about stuff as Dane is, so it's good to get his perspective. I like it.
Yep.
But hey, everybody saw out there, got the new Facebook page up for Always Relevant. Check us out at Always Relevant. You can find us there. Find me on Twitter, franchise at franchise1122. Find Dane at D DeMayo. That's D, D DMEIO.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
Yep. Right. See, I had him on. That's not right. No, it
Came
is
right
right.
off, man.
That's right. At D DeMayo. Find him on Twitter. Hit us up on Instagram. We're out there too. We're gonna try to get some more interaction out there with our Facebook page. So we're gonna post some stuff out there. I've posted a few questions, got a few back and forth, a little bit of response. We're gonna keep that going out there. Looking forward to the next week. Don't even know what's coming up next week. All I know is it's football season. I'm happy. I'm ready for it. What do you think, man?
I'm ready to go, man. Remember, that weak stuff don't live here no more in Cleveland. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll see what's good. Until then, we appreciate it. We enjoyed it. We had fun. We hope you did too. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Later.
Take care.